We're not going to accept mediocrity. We're not going to accept not getting it done on the floor. Latch on to the back of the bandwagon because things be changing here in the Bay Area.
You played for Jeff Van Gundy. At the time, he almost seems like a totally different guy from coaching the broadcast. I mean, did you bring out that personality on the air with him?
I wish I could take credit for it, but the truth of the matter is that is who he is. He refused to allow people to see that side of him. Probably because he's so intense. And when he becomes a head coach and takes over that seat, it consumes him. And he doesn't have as much fun as he has in his normal life. But he's a guy, as a coach, that had a great sense of humor. I watched him as an assistant with the Knicks when he was just a fourth or fifth assistant, and I watched him grow. He is who he is today as a TV guy. Great sense of humor, great husband, great father, and a great friend.
A guy who has some Bay Area background as well. You know, you mentioned that you've always been preparing yourself to be a head coach. And as a broadcaster, I kind of think it gives you a great advantage because you get to sit back and watch everybody, how they do things, how they run a practice, how they approach game situations. Do you take notes, whether they be mental or otherwise, and oh, I like that, I'll use that?
You take mental notes and also you write down notes. Have an opportunity to watch guys in practice, watch guys in playoff situations, watch guys in the middle of the season. You sit back and you learn what they're doing right, what you would do differently, and you begin to pick their brains as far as being a head coach in this league. It was a great, great lesson and tool for me to be able to sit in the office a game 2 in a playoff series and sit with Coach Popovich, or to sit with Doc Rivers or Rick Carlisle or Eric Spoelstra. It was a great tool for me to sit with these guys, talk basketball with them, and learn some of the things that they were going through, some of their answers, the way that they responded, whether it be the biggest challenges or just small challenges like how do you control the locker room, how do you control the bus or the plane, all of those things. Valuable lessons for me to be able to sit with these guys and have conversations with them.
You started out doing games on the YES Network and then eventually worked up to the #1 team in the NBA, and there had to be a great comfort level there because you worked with both Jeff Van Gundy and Mike Breen in New York, and there had to be an easier transition, say, than normal.
It makes a difference, when you talk about, when you talk about putting together a 3-man booth, having 3 guys talk about a game, there's agendas, there's guys that want to make sure they look good, there's guys that want enough room to be able to say what I want to say. The advantage that we had, we each known each other for over 20 years, had tremendous respect for one another, and what you saw on a Sunday or a Wednesday or a Friday night was the same exact thing you would see if you came to the restaurant with us. You'd see us arguing, complaining, disagreeing, laughing, and I think that's something that once you get it, it comes across to the viewers, and a time that I really, really cherish.
At what point did you realize the potential impact and I guess lack of incognito that you have when you're on national TV?
When people would come up to me, introduce me to their wife or their kids, want an autograph, and not have a clue that I ever played the game of basketball. Oh, that's the guy that's on TV, or that's the guy that calls the games. They don't care what I did as a player. It means nothing. They don't even remember it, but they recognize me in a suit and tie because I'm calling NBA games. That's when you realize, ooh, this is a special seat I'm sitting in.
Was there any time, like if you're out to dinner and somebody yells across the room, "Mama, there goes that man," or?
All the lines that they can remember, they're yelling out, whether I'm in the airport and I'm sure that afterwards they say, "I can't believe I just made myself look like a fool by yelling that name out or yelling that phrase out." But they embrace it, and it shows you that they're listening.